Yorkville University presents Education Connect in association with CNBC-TV18 and News18.com.
Hello and welcome to Education Connect. I'm Mridu Bhandari. On this very special series, we explore higher education opportunities that renowned global universities have to offer to students. Well, COVID-19 has, of course, disrupted learning like never before. It has also disrupted plans of a lot of students. But of course, educational institutions have kept pace and have in fact made tremendous efforts during the pandemic to keep learning uninterrupted. Today, our focus is on studying in Canada and earning a degree without delay. We are talking particularly about the prestigious Yorkville University in Canada, and I'm joined by a set of very eminent experts. Let me welcome Meti Basiri, co-founder and chief marketing officer at ApplyBoard, Deepak Mehta, senior recruitment manager for Yorkville University at ApplyBoard, Dr. Walter Lee, Senior Vice President, Marketing and Enrollment at Yorkville University, and Krupali Patel, student from India who's pursuing BBA at Yorkville University. She's also a member of the Student Council at the university. Welcome, gentlemen. Welcome, Krupali. Thank you so much for joining us here today on Education Connect. Before we begin the conversation, let's give a glimpse to our audience here today on what Yorkville University is all about.
Attending university in a new country? I was so excited. But I have to admit, I was nervous too. But Yorkville University has made the transition so easy. My program advisors are always there for me, providing support and advice and ensuring that I meet my academic goals. Yorkville's career-focused curriculum and small classroom sizes of no more than 20 students really appeal to me. It means more one-on-one time with my teachers. The learning opportunities here are so flexible. I can choose classes based on my schedule. The Student Success Center offers resume writing and interview preparation workshops, which I plan to take full advantage of. And when I'm done, a degree means eligibility for a post-graduation work permit in a country with an amazing quality of life. I'm thriving here. I've learned so much and have built friendships and connections to last a lifetime. Yorkville University. They are providing me with an education experience that goes beyond, and now I feel prepared for what lies ahead.
All right, so there you saw a brief glimpse of what Yorkville University in Canada has to offer. I'd also like to extend a very warm welcome to our virtual audience here today. I know a lot of you are curious about studying in Canada, and that's what we are here to talk about. This is an engaging and an interactive platform. If you're a student, a prospective student looking to go to Canada and study, please feel free to post your questions, and we will try and take up as many as possible towards the end of the conversation. So let me begin by asking you, Dr. Lee, now, since the outbreak of the pandemic, of course, every facet of our lives has been disrupted and learning has been no exception. We have seen huge shifts as far as education is concerned. Give us a sense of how the education sector around the globe has really coped up and, share with us some experiences on how you've really taken care of students in these turbulent times.
Thanks, Mridu. I appreciate the question. There are a number of things that we did, after the pandemic hit, and the main thing was that we just wanted students to have the opportunity to go ahead and get started with their lives and get ready for that, sort of important transition from high school to working life, so. The first thing we did was to transition all of our programs remotely, so that even students who were having some difficulty moving from country to country or coming to Canada were able to get started on their program without delay. We were uniquely positioned to do that because we have deep experience since 2004 delivering programs even at the graduate level online. So we were really ready to make that transition without any disruption, and to provide excellent education experience for students through this period. The other thing that we did was to take give students some assurance in terms of their their investment in their education, that if they didn't get a study permit for whatever reason, that they would get a full refund. So the other side of it was really transitioning all of the supports that Yorkville's known for, and the intimate connection to staff and faculty that Yorkville's known for. And we made that transition to in the online space. And we're, of course, while we're happy that we allowed students to continue and move forward with their lives through this really difficult year, we're also, equally excited about welcoming them back to campus this fall.
Right, good to hear that. And I think everyone is looking forward to this fall. Let me then ask Krupali, who is studying at Yorkville University. Krupali, you recently transitioned from remote learning and moved to Toronto to really complete your studies. Give us a sense of what that experience has been like, remote as well as being in Toronto, and how has Yorkville University really made learning extremely accessible for you?
So ever since my childhood, I always wanted to, pursue my career in doing BBA and doing business management. So as soon as I completed my 12th standard, I told my parents that I want to go to Canada. So we came across a counselor who suggested us that, for the field that you want to go to, Yorkville is the university that can provide you. And the best part is that you can complete your bachelor's degree in 2.5 years to 3 years, which is equivalent to 4 years of the bachelor's degree. So we get enough time for our future goals also. So I started my education in January 2021, that too from my home place when I was waiting for my visa to be accepted. So as soon as the things was, when I accepted, okay, now I will do my online education from home. So step by step, we were guided by our admission advisors and also the ID department, who took us from step by step that how everything will be gone through. Moreover, the thing to add was that before the lectures and the classes start, the materials and everything was provided to us. We just had to download it. We had nothing to buy virtual books. Everything was provided. Moreover, the timings where the live lectures were conducted, professors and the faculties made sure that the timings are in a way that we don't get disturbed. It is according to our time schedule and the days we decide. Moreover, when the second thing as a student that came to my concern was, what about the questions? What about the doubts that comes into my mind after the lecture is completed? So the best part is professors respond very quickly. As you just have to put the mail to them and they help us. So right now also, because of COVID, the education is still conducted online only, but the system is still the same and still fun while studying with our classmates.
Great to hear that, Krupali, and kudos to you for having gotten through what was perhaps one of the most disruptive years of our lives collectively. And here's hoping that things only get better from here on. Studying abroad is, of course, an aspiration that millions of students hold, but it's not an easy task. We have Meti Basiri here on our panel today, who represents ApplyBoard, which is amongst the world's leading study abroad application platforms. Now, before I ask you a question, Meti, let's first take a look at how ApplyBoard is really giving wings to the dreams of students who want to study abroad.
Everyone is born with a dream, and as you grow, your dreams grow with you. Raul and his family have big dreams to study abroad, but don't know where or how to start his educational journey. What country should he study in? What program is right for him? Which educational institution is the best fit for the hopes and dreams for his future? In reality, the path to accomplishing Raul's dreams is filled with many obstacles, including eligibility requirements and deadlines, varying application paperwork, and lengthy visa process for the study abroad destination country. Meet ApplyBoard. ApplyBoard has been developed to help you achieve your study abroad dreams. We make it easy to find the right program at the best school for you. And with a 95% chance of acceptance, ApplyBoard is a trusted companion in achieving your goal of studying abroad at no additional cost to you. We put you in touch with study abroad experts from around the world who will get to know you and understand your goals. They'll provide you with admission counseling, answer all of your questions, help you make decisions, and support you throughout the entire process. With over 1,500 partner schools in Canada, the United States, the United Kingdom, and Australia, exclusive scholarships and bursaries, and visa guidance from an authorized immigration consultant. Let ApplyBoard help you reach for the stars by enabling you to access the best education in the right study abroad destination for you. Because education is a right, not a privilege. Discover your study abroad options today. Get started at applyboard.com.
That was a very insightful video about ApplyBoard. Meti, I want to ask you first, since the work that you do involves international students, give us a sense of what makes Canada a really popular destination for higher education.
Thank you so much for having me here. It's a great panel and great to be here. I think before I answer that question, I should say myself, I was an international student about 10 years back. I came to Canada. So I've been it, lived it, and I chose Canada as a destination to my like kind of the study abroad destination. And I think there is a multiple reason, but it could be very different for people. But definitely Canada is one of the most friendliest country when it comes to the path to migrate as a student. And I think for a lot of us students, that's an important path, right? If I'm coming and I'm spending a lot of per se, like money for my education, do I have the opportunity to stay if I want? And Canada has been one of the country that consistently has sent a great message out. Yes, the path of immigration, it's open for a student. So I think that's one of the very most important things. Second thing is the cost of living and the education cost is far more affordable when you really put it beside Australian schools or when you put it beside UK schools or US schools. So I think like what you're really gaining in Canada is the same, if not better quality of education, but for far more, for far less expensive per se. And the last thing I think, like when you really look at it, the rules for students, part-time jobs, if you want to work up to 20 hours per week, or how the schools really much putting a lot of efforts for international students. The country that is almost 1/4 of it, 1/5 of it is immigrants. It's just a phenomenal. When Toronto, as example, when you really look at Toronto, out of 2 people in Toronto, 1 is immigrant. I think it's just to my eyes, I said this last week when it was a Canada Day, I said Canada is the greatest nation in the earth, and I'm so blessed to be calling myself Canadian and live here.
Right. Okay. So good to hear that, and good to hear that from being a student, you went on to become an entrepreneur in Canada. Well, Deepak, let me then come to you. You deal a lot in student transitions from India to Canada. Give us a sense of how institutions like Yorkville University have helped in reinforcing Canada's position as an attractive destination for international students, like Meti was just saying.
Thanks, Mridu, for having me today. I think Yorkville University was one of the first schools for quickly adapting to the COVID-19 situation. The best part about Yorkville University was that we came up with a program called our Head Start program, under which we said that, if the students are not able to travel to Canada because of the COVID-19 situation, we quickly moved everything on the online platform. Having said that, we have more than 15 years of experience of teaching a program online, and we have that cutting edge technology, all the resources available. So, while other universities, colleges were struggling to get, the resources available to teach the program online, Yorkville had a benefit of, having those resources there already. In fact, we've been ranked amongst the top 10 university by a university magazine. And, that has actually helped our students to, carry on with their education without any study gap in between. Other than that, we also came up to help students financially, as in we came up with a lot of scholarship bursaries. So for our Bachelor of Business Administration program, we have a scholarship of about 10,000 Canadian dollars. Interior design program, we've recently increased the scholarship to 14,000 Canadian dollars. So in order to help those students who are going through financial crisis, we wanted to make sure that we're there to support them and help them through this crisis kind of a situation. Lastly, Mritul, I would also like to highlight that a lot of students are still waiting for their grade 12th results, because CBSE recently announced that we will be very shortly announcing the results by the end of July. So Yorkville University, basically what we did is have started accepting conditional admissions, which means if the student does not have their grade 12th results, they can still apply with their predicted scores, and we will be happy to review their application and release the conditional acceptances.
Okay, so that's very good news for students from India, and thanks for sharing that with us, Deepak. For those who are just joining us, our special conversation on Education Connect today is about studying in Canada and earning a degree right away without any delay. And for that, I'm joined by a very eminent panel of experts. For those just joining in, just introducing them once more to you: Meti Basiri, co-founder and chief marketing officer at ApplyBoard; Deepak Mehta, Senior Recruitment Manager for Yorkville University at ApplyBoard; Dr. Walter Lee, Senior Vice President and Marketing and Enrollment at Yorkville University; and Krupali Patel, student from India who's pursuing Bachelor of Business Administration at Yorkville University. She's, of course, also a member of the Student Council of the university. Well, thanks, everyone, for really joining us here today on Education Connect and sharing insights into studying in Canada. Let me first then introduce a short video to our virtual audience here today about Yorkville University and all that it has to offer.
Attending university in a new country? I was so excited. But I have to admit, I was nervous too. But Yorkville University has made the transition so easy. My program advisors are always there for me, providing support and advice and ensuring that I meet my academic goals. Yorkville's career-focused curriculum and small classroom sizes of no more than 20 students really appeal to me. It means more one-on-one time with my teachers. The learning opportunities here are so flexible. I can choose classes based on my schedule. The Student Success Center offers resume writing and interview preparation workshops, which I plan to take full advantage of. And when I'm done, a degree means eligibility for a post-graduation work permit in a country with an amazing quality of life. I'm thriving here. I've learned so much and have built friendships and connections to last a lifetime. Yorkville University. They are providing me with an education experience that goes beyond, and now I feel prepared for what lies ahead.
So, I'm going to ask our virtual audience here then to answer this question that I have specially for you. What makes Canada the destination of choice for students? Is it A, future-ready post-graduation programs; B, career-focused degrees in business, design, and creative arts; C, multicultural diversity, large, vibrant cities with warm and welcoming community; or D, all of the above? You will be able to see these options on your screens. Please go ahead and make a choice, A, B, C, or D, and we'll come back to the answer in just a bit while the data gets tabulated. Let me move on then to you, Dr. Lee. During the pandemic, of course, every university has had to transform itself and really cater to students. You spoke a little bit about that briefly earlier. How has Yorkville University in particular and Canada in general really ensured that students continue their education with minimal disruption? And what makes Yorkville University's pedagogy in particular really unique?
I think that, for us, the big effort was to make sure that students didn't delay their movement towards their ultimate goals. And really what education is about really it's transforming students, helping students transform themselves, and to get started on a new life and for many, it's a new life in Canada. It's sort of moving from, being in their family's home to supporting themselves, to launching a career and launching really their adult life. So, for us, that's our focus. And there are a lot of graduates in Canada, and it's a really wonderful life for students who do well when they graduate. But it's a very competitive environment. So our focus is really firmly on preparing students for their careers. You can graduate from a lot of different schools, but then when you graduate with a credential, where do you go and how do you start? So we want to make sure that our students are uniquely prepared to get started on their career, that they're not going to be, sort of stuck in subsistence jobs, and that the dream of coming to Canada is really materialized after they graduate. And there's a lot of things that we'll be talking about today about how we support that, but it's really supported from the minute that students come to our school and the nature of our curriculum. All of our BBA specializations, for example, ladder to professional designations in project management, supply chain management, energy management, and accounting, and with CPA, Chartered Professional Accountants of Canada, Canadian Payroll Association, Project Management Institute, et cetera, et cetera. And on top of that, we also make a lot of room in the way we schedule our programs for students to work part-time and gather work experience while they study, which is important. Because then when they graduate, they're prepared with a resume, they've honed their interview skills, and they have job experience, and they're ready to get started, and they don't get lost in a competitive world. And that's our mission. And that's really what makes us stand out from other institutions in Canada, I think around the world.
Right, absolutely. Okay, so let's then find out what are some of Yorkville University's, most popular and featured programs. Deepak, you deal with students, particularly amongst Indian students. What are some of the programs that are really popular?
So, Mridu, talking about the programs that we offer at Yorkville University, first of all, let me mention that we have two campuses, and we have a campus in Toronto and we have a campus in Vancouver. And these are the two largest cities in Canada, across Canada. And that's why I think Yorkville University also attracts. That's another reason why we get so many students, because there's a corporate hub. And like Dr. Lee mentioned, that most of our programs leads to professional designation. So talking about the programs that we offer at Toronto campus, we have Bachelor of Business Administration and Project Management. Now, in this program, we actually teach students how to transition project. And upon graduating from this program, the student can work across various fields, which could be advertising, sales, construction, IT, marketing. Then the other program that we have is Bachelor of Interior Design program. Now, in the interior design program, we actually teach students how to design structures using AutoCAD. And these structures could be corporate office spaces. It could be healthcare designs like hospitals. It could be hospitality designs like hotel, restaurants, education designs like schools, colleges, universities. And there's a huge demand of interior designers across Canada. In fact, there's a small joke which I just wanted to quickly share with everyone. So once I was traveling across Canada, and we had a meeting at 10 o'clock, and we got stuck in bad traffic jam. Then this cab driver shared this thing with me, where we said that there are only two seasons across Canada. One is winters, when everything is covered with snow, and when there's no snow, there's construction happening everywhere, which means there's a lot of demand for this program called interior design. Other than that, we also have a Bachelor of Creative Arts. Now, in this Bachelor of Creative Arts, we actually help students to equip all the leadership and business skills. And then coming to our Vancouver campus, we majorly have Bachelor of Business Administration. We have 4 specializations. So we have specialization in accounting, which is accredited by Chartered Professional Accountants of Canada and Canadian Payroll Association. Then we have energy management. We have supply chain management. And we also have project management, which is taught at Toronto campus. Last but not the least, we also have a general degree in BBA. The best part about our degree program are they're all 4-year equivalent program. However, the student can actually finish a Bachelor of Business Administration in as few as 2.5 years. Bachelor of Interior Design, the student can actually finish it in 3 years. And Bachelor of Creative Arts, they can finish it off in 2 years. And again, all the students who pursue any of our degree program at Yorkville University will be eligible for a postgraduate work permit for up to 3 years upon completion of the program. So, basically Yorkville University prepares the students right from the admission up to, probably after graduating from the program, help them with their career services as well.
Right. Okay. Those are some fantastic insights, Deepak, particularly on the time front that, students can save a lot of time and complete degrees in a lesser number of years. Dr. Lee, I want you to comment on that. Can you also tell us a little bit about Yorkville University's programs that are cost effective? Like Deepak said, of course, the study time can be kept down to as low as 2.5 years for a graduate degree. Let's also talk about the affordability of the programs.
Yes, well, thank you, Ritu. It's been really important for us that we're accessible in a number of ways, not the least of which is when it comes to price. And so, for us, it's been important, to provide an opportunity for students to complete, a 4-year degree program in an accelerated pace, which certainly saves a lot of money in terms of the time that students spend out of the workforce, or out of full-time away from full-time work. But also we have a really aggressive bursary program with ApplyBoard that reduces the cost considerably for students who apply through our partners. So that's really important to us, and again, the way we schedule our programs and the way we schedule our courses allows students to take advantage of that ability to work 20 hours a week all through their studies. The really big thing, I think for us is that students who choose us are coming to us with a really practical and purposeful energy. They're not sort of trying to figure out where they're going in life. They know that they want to get started on their careers. They know they want to do it faster. They want to do it efficiently. They do want to do it with cost efficiency. And we want to provide the kind of supports that get students fully ready to launch their career in a very short period of time, and to get started on a meaningful career in Canada so that they can support themselves in a very competitive country, and also so they can support their families throughout their life.
Right. Okay. So we asked that question earlier to our virtual audience here today. What makes Canada the destination of choice for students? And we have the results in. Let's have those poll results up on our screens, please. The choices were A, future-ready post-graduation programs, B, career-focused degrees in business, design, and creative arts, C, multicultural diversity, large, vibrant cities with warm and welcoming community, and D, all of the above. So if you can see that graph, just about 8% said future-ready post-graduation programs, another 8% for choice B, that's career-focused degrees, another 13% who voted for multicultural diversity, large, vibrant cities, and a resounding 71% there saying all of the above. So Canada is the destination of choice for students for everything that it offers, from the quality of education to the career-focused degrees to the opportunities to the multicultural diversity or the vibrance or warmth that it offers. And good to see that. Krupali, you started your session virtually from India and you later moved to campus. And you are someone who's experiencing perhaps all of these choices that are up here on the poll. How is life in Canada really, especially downtown Toronto?
So when I shifted to Canada, at that time, government had imposed 3 + 11 days mandatory quarantine. So my shifting over here was very smooth because Yorkville, especially the admission advisor and student services, took care of that, that we are shifted very easily because they had our pre-booked hotels and a transportation which would help us from going to hotel from airport. Plus, the thing was that when we were in quarantine, we had continuous follow-up calls that, are we doing okay, or are we homesick, and everything about that. So even though we also had student services providing us activities for every day, and over there virtually I met and I made my friends. So it never felt like, that we are in quarantine all alone, homesick, without parents and all. So I fell actually in love with Toronto when I came back over here in 2016, when it was my first time over here, and I was in city for the 3 days, and I just fell in love with Toronto. So though when I came, it was lockdown, restrictions were still there, but the best thing about the city is you have hundreds of parks and trails where you can just go by walking distance from the place you are living. Almost 10 to 15 are there. Plus, I'm just waiting for it to reopen more and more so that, I can explore the CN Tower view and all, because everyone in Canada is praising that, when it opens, go whether you would enjoy it. I'm like, okay, I'm waiting. So the best part of, exploring the city is the transit buses that are put over here, which comes very effectively, and that are very safe to travel. Every 2 to 3 minutes, you have a TTC bus coming to help you. Moreover, it is the third largest system that is provided by North America. And because of it, I was able to, explore these parks and trails a lot.
Wonderful. Nice to hear that from you, Krupali. Well, we were talking about the funding options earlier. And, Meti, if I can come back to you, we have heard from Dr. Lee about the ApplyBoard bursary that is offered. Give us a sense of the size of the bursary available for Yorkville University students. How can they really avail it?
Thank you so much. I think for the first, I love one thing that we work with the mass majority of the schools in Canada. One of the reasons always I loved our relationship with Yorkville, because Yorkville puts their students first. It's as much as it's one of the largest private universities, but they always been one of the best, I would say, in terms of supporting their students. So when we really discussed about, hey, can we provide some opportunity for students to gain a scholarship, Yorkville was very supportive and provided any of student that goes through ApplyBoard channel with minimum of $10,000 scholarship. What amazed me was, even as Deepak was mentioning, early of this pandemic, Mr. Walter Lee and some other senior people at Yorkville came and said, you know what, we're going to even increase the scholarship slightly for during this time. But students, regardless, will be able to get minimum of $10,000 scholarship that will put their bachelor degree is one of the most affordable bachelor degrees in Canada. And I think for those students that they're actually planning to stay in the country later on, and they don't want to, let's say if you have a 2 years diploma option and then you can do a 2.5 years bachelor degree, it's important to remember that with this bachelor degree, you always can extend your education to a master degree. But with the 2 years diploma, then you need to go and first figure out where you can go study your bachelor and then continue to do your master. So doing the degree has that huge benefit that you're not gonna kind of block your future education. If you're trying or you're planning to do any masters, you would be able to still continue to do that, which themselves, Yorkville University have some masters online that you can take as you're working. So just wanted to mention that as well.
Well, Dr. Lee, a very practical question for you. How job ready do the students get when they graduate from Yorkville University? You did mention a few industrial partnerships earlier. Give us a sense of what else are you doing to make students industry ready? Also, do designations matter when students graduate and really start off their professional careers?
Yeah, I think that designations do matter. Particularly if students are choosing, to go into into energy management, that they should, pursue, designation. Similarly, if they're going to work as a project manager, that Project Management Institute designation does matter. So these things, are there for students who are choosing these paths in these specific fields. And, for some fields like interior design, for example, that students need to be graduate from an accredited program, and they need the designation in order to even call themselves an interior designer. And it allows them to do things like sign off on architectural drawings of a certain size square footage. So these things do matter, and they do provide entry or create ease of entry to specific industries. And that's something that's really important to us for students who are choosing that path. We do a lot, though, Ritu, to support students, not only in these particular designations, but also, in any area that they choose in business. There are a lot of great programs in Canada at other schools and diploma programs where, students graduate and they've learned a lot in their program, but they're still stuck in, don't really get their career started in the way that we would like to see them get started. And there are a lot of university and college diploma graduates that are in, underemployed, working in delivery driver positions or in restaurants. And this is not something that we want for our graduates. We want something that's much more special, and we want to get them out there and get them started on a career path. So we have industry liaison staff that are making connections with industry and bringing jobs to our students when they graduate. And it's not placing them, because students have to interview and they have to secure the position. But we want to make sure that we prepare students for the industry.
Just a reminder to our virtual audience here today, we are talking about studying in Canada and earning a degree without delay. Go ahead and post your questions using the chat mode on your screens, and we will try and take up as many questions as possible for our eminent panel of experts here today. Let me go back to Mr. Basiri. An important question that everybody is perhaps interested in right now is, what has the government's role been in ensuring that students do not miss out on their education opportunities? Particularly Indian parents here would like to know, what is happening out there.
That's a great question. So what Canada did, which was one of the other reasons that I'm proud of this country, is early days, before the students really much getting to be nervous around their future and how that's going to impact their postgraduate work permit. It was early of this year that Canada announced till the end of 2021, till December 2021, any students do their education online and then they come to Canada, they still don't miss out the postgraduate work permit opportunity, which is a really much great thing, because let's say for someone like Gurpali, she can feel confidence that whatever she has studied in India, and then also whatever she's studying right now in Canada, because still campuses are not open fully, then she's not going to miss the opportunity. Actually, it's the same as what if it would have been the same that she was in the campus. So that's a great thing that Canada done, and it's very early days, and they really extended till the end of this year. So no students really doubt or really much for any students that they're right now sitting in India as example, and they're not sure it's the best time. It started now. The market's gonna be very much back on in just a matter of no time. We're gonna be all sitting in the classes. Classes are back to normal, and people would be every student's gonna want to come back here. So if you can start slightly online, do it. Just about a semester left or 2 semester maximum. I doubt would be 2, but and you're not really much missing any huge advantage that are provided to international students.
Right. Okay. So we have Dr. Lee joining us back. Dr. Lee, apologies, we lost that connection with you earlier, and good to have you back. I'm going to give you a chance to complete your thought there, please.
I think, thank you, Rita. I think I was just discussing our career services function and how we connect students to the workforce and prepare them for that. And that I would say is also, really how Yorkville is uniquely positioned, that we want students to get started on their career early, but we don't want them to get lost in a competitive world. We want them to be ready. So we make sure that their resumes are ready. We make sure that they have practiced interview skills and that they're able to land these positions. So we support students in jobs that they've found for themselves, but we also are out constantly looking for entry-level positions, career positions, not just working in Canada, but working in a way that's meaningful and that's going to lead to really rewarding careers that support your family, your current family, and your future family.
Right. Wonderful. Wonderful to hear that. Krupali, I'm going to come back to you. I want you to add on to, your experience. What has really kept you going through these tough times? And, for the rest of the year, what sort of expectations do you have while studying in Canada?
So right now, many of the students and one of my friends, they're also waiting, so a lot of people had to delay or, completely all their study plans. So for me, I could start it from my home place immediately and then transfer later on the program in Canada and yet to be eligible for post-graduation work permit. So this was only made possible as I choose Canada as my, study destination. Plus, Yorkville came through with friendly visa policies. It's strongly positioned in a global leader in online education. Plus, the team and the faculties are totally committed to support you in every manner, not just in a manner of, a professionalism, but we even have student councils like us who help students go through any difficulties.
Right. Okay. So good to hear that you have a lot of support out there. I want to remind our virtual audience once again that this is an interactive session. So my next question is for our virtual audience here today. When the pandemic finally becomes history, universities will likely adapt to different teaching models. Which one would you prefer? A, learning completely from an online mode. B, learn online and offline in equal parts. Or C, 100% in person on campus and with other students. So those are your choices: learning completely from an online mode, learning online or offline in equal parts, or 100% in campus, on campus and with other students. And, by the time we get these answers from our audience, I want to come to you, Krupali, once more. What is your preferred option? You have seen completely online and you are out there now in Toronto trying to get to a completely offline mode. What's your preferred choice? Would it be A, online, B, online plus offline, or C, totally offline and on campus?
Totally offline on campus, because interacting with others, meeting new people always bring lots of experiences, how their part went when they came to Canada, what struggle they had. So they gave us those hints that don't do that mistake, you don't do that. So it becomes very lively to study and to go with the motivation.
Right. Okay. And, you also became a student council member there. What pushed you to become a student council member, and what do you do as a student council member?
So as I mentioned earlier, that in quarantine, we had an online sessions. So I just, mixed up into the stuff and I realized that, okay, there is a council which works to help students out. So now as I am part of it, what work I do is I help other students who come new to Yorkville or join Yorkville. What we do is we are 7 to 8 student council member. We connect to them and we always try to help them no matter what the way is. Plus we have lots of clubs, drama clubs, dance club, music club, and then Ludo tournaments goes on. We have virtual events going on every Tuesdays and Thursdays every semesters, which is most enjoyable. So we are also given an opportunity to co-host with our one of the global program advisors. His name is Mr. Ali Noor. So along with him, he supports us, and he always enhances us, and we are given chance to manage the event, co-host with him. And just it's like practicing and enhancing yourself among your friends, among your students who are studying with you. So it becomes a really good thing when you want to enhance yourself more.
Right. All right. Okay. So we're also going to pick up one of our audience questions. Kindly apprise us regarding scholarship options and how can one apply. Deepak Mehta, if I can come to you with that.
Just wanted to tell you one thing, that we have multiple intakes in a year. So we have 4 terms in a year. We have January, April, July, and October. So we have an intake every 3 months. And our application process is super simple. So what we require majorly is a 10th and 12th mark sheet. We require either of the English language test, which could be IELTS, PTE, which is Pearson Test of English, or TOEFL. Our IELTS requirement is overall 6. We accept maximum to section 5.5. We also accept PTE, Pearson Test of English, 47 or above. And we also accept TOEFL, which is 70 or above. Other than that, if you're particularly looking at interior design program, then additionally, we would require a resume and a statement of purpose. So with BBA, we do not require that. But yes, with interior design, we may require those additional documents. In grade 12th, we're looking at 50% or more. Even if the student does not have grade 12th mathematics, that's okay. What we do is we teach mathematics in the first term along with other subjects, and there's no additional charge for that. And also our application fee is waived, and our processing time is really, really quick. Usually we issue the offer letter in 3 to 5 working days. Talking about the scholarship once again, so very recently we have decreased the total fees of Bachelor of Interior Design. Now earlier the total fees was about $86,000 for Bachelor of Interior Design. Now we have a scholarship of $14,000, and the overall fees has come down to approximately $72,000 for interior design. If I specifically talk about BBA program, again, our scholarship is $10,000, and the fees for BBA right now is approximately around 59,000 Canadian dollars, which is by far very much affordable. In fact, I've seen a lot of colleges where the cost of their advanced diploma, usually 3 years advanced diploma, is much, much higher than what we're charging for a 4-year degree, which the student can actually finish it off in 2.5 years. Not only this, our degree program also helps students when they apply for the permanent resident application. So usually when you do a degree program across Canada as compared to a diploma program, you get more points on your permanent resident application, and hence we call our degree program a permanent residency pathway program. Having said that, I'm not an immigration consultant, so I would definitely recommend all our students, after having graduated, consult a regulated immigration consultant for their PR questions.
Right, absolutely. Well, you answered a lot of the questions that are in fact common amongst our virtual audience, our students who've joined us here today. There's another one that asks, what's the admission procedure for BA in interior design? And could you please say something about the admission fees, which you mentioned has been waived off, and the offer letter comes back really quickly. So those are some very, very interesting insights that you've offered there, Mr. Mehta. Thank you very much. Dr. Lee, if I can come to you, let's also talk a little bit about the alumni network of Yorkville University. A lot of the giving back to the institution comes from very strong alumni networks. So give us a sense of how that network is and what it does for current and prospective students.
Well, I think that this is it's a really important question, and one of the things that I'll sort of draw on is that really where it starts, where the alumni network starts, is in that first experience that students have, when they come to our school, where they connect with each other. One of the sort of most wonderful things I've heard from Krupali, who by the way is just I think, Krupali, I think you're wonderful and just a great inspiration to me that we're bringing students as fantastic as you into our school. But one of the things that really warmed my heart was knowing that you connected and made friends even through the pandemic, and connected offline, and going for walks with your people that you met in an online environment through the pandemic. But these are the kind of bonds I think that are going to stay with you for your whole life, and that these are the people that you're going to be connected to your whole life. So we want to foster that and put a lot of energy into making sure that these connections remain. On the other side of things too, that we provide services for students even once they've left our school. Our career services department, our business development department, we're connecting students to jobs. They may have started their career, but then a good job opportunity comes up, and we'll reach out and connect and say, there's a great opportunity that's come up and that we want you to know about. In some program areas like interior design, it's difficult for us because so many of our students are employed, trying to find students who are available for these job opportunities is difficult, which is a good sign. But the main point being that we stay with students and we don't leave them, and that they remain a part of our family forever, and that we're going to be there to support them, whether it's for career advancement or career transition, or other kind of supports. But it all starts with wonderful students like Krupali.
Right, absolutely. Well, we have the results into our earlier poll question that was thrown open to the audience, and the question was, when the pandemic finally becomes history, universities will likely adapt different teaching models, and which one would you prefer? And there you have it, just about 3% people saying that learning completely on an online mode, 20% saying online and offline in equal parts, but 77% majority for completely in-person, on-campus learning with other students. Dr. Lee, quick comment from you on that. No matter how much technology we adopt, the in-person teaching, the human touch cannot be done away with, right?
We do. I think it's just indicative also of our state of mind right now. I think we were really hungry for each other. We miss each other and miss the human connection. This meeting is sort of one of those cases. I mean, one of our finest students is here, student council member, and I haven't met her face to face yet. So I'm really eager to do that. I think all students are eager to get started. We're eager to get started, and we're getting started this fall. We're going back to class. We're going to see each other face to face. We're going to have meaningful engagement in the classroom. We're going to be safe about it. We're going to be careful in a very Canadian way. Canadians are a very careful country. We care about each other. We want to make sure we're all safe, but we're going back, and we're really, really happy about that. We do make online courses accessible to students. They're going to be able to study a mix if they need to. So that 20%, which is a lot of students, we'll be happy to accommodate them and give them a good mix. And that makes life easier. It makes work life easier. It makes travel to and from campus easier. We make that possible. But our focus really at this point is on getting in front of students and getting ourselves back together and getting back to normal in a safe environment.
Right. Very, very reassuring to hear that, Dr. Lee. Of course, things like social distancing, sanitization will perhaps continue in our lives, at least for the near future. And good to hear that Yorkville University will be taking, all kinds of precautions for students coming on campus, and will be flexible enough, for those who want to do part remote learning as well. Great to hear that. Let me then come to our next audience question. This one is from Prakhar Sharma. And the question is, can I directly start pursuing Bachelor of Science after passing out from class 12? Mr. Mehta, can you answer that for us?
Absolutely, Mridu. So we do have Bachelor of Business Administration and Bachelor of Interior Design program. For both these students, we accept students, after finishing of grade 12th. And if you have 50% or more in your grade 12th with one of the English language test, which is IELTS, PTE, or TOEFL, then you can start your application immediately. Let me remind you guys that even in case if your IELTS, any of the English proficiency test is pending, or if your grade 12th results are yet to be announced, then also you can start your application. We're accepting conditional admission. Our next intake is October 2021. Our application fee is waived, and like I said, our processing time is really, really fast. The only program where we require 2 years of post-secondary education is Bachelor of Creative Arts. So for Bachelor of Creative Arts, what we're saying is that if you're a student who has passed out grade 12 and has at least 2 years of education, undergraduate diploma related to the field of creative arts, which could be fashion design, film production, video game design or graphic design or visual effects, any of the field related to creative arts, then what you can do is you can apply for a Bachelor of Creative Arts program. Our English language proficiency requirements remain same for that program. And then you only have to complete 2 years in Canada for BCA. The approximate fees for that program is about 35 to 40,000 Canadian dollars. And you get a postgraduate work permit for up to 3 years after finishing 2 years of BCA across BCA at Yorkville University.
All right. Great to hear that. Well, here's another. Yes, Dr. Lee, you want to make a point?
Yeah, I just wanted to also mention too that a part of Yorkville University is the Toronto Film School. We haven't spoken much about it today, but the students who are interested in film production, acting, writing for film and TV or screenwriting, video game design, development, graphic design, that these students are able to start directly, and that these programs ladder to the Bachelor of Creative Arts. So we just want to, sort of encourage any students who have an interest in film career, which, by the way, is booming in Canada, that there are just tremendous opportunities in Canada, can take that diploma and degree combination and finish in roughly the same amount of time as as students who graduate from the BBA program, and get started on a really exciting career in film in Canada. Again, this is really sort of moved beyond the dream. It used to be that students would sort of be really pursuing a dream, but what they're pursuing now is really a practical path to a career in the film industry, which is really exciting. So yes, you can start directly from 12th in creative fields as well.
Right. Okay. Great. That's a good piece of insight on the film school as well. Well, our next question here is from Deepa Datta, and the question is, as international borders are closed, can a student who has done 2 semesters at another university continue from the 3rd semester if he or she gets admission in Yorkville University now? Deepak, what's the status on that one?
All right, Mritu, just before I answer this question, I just wanted to come back and talk a little bit more about Toronto Film School and add to what Dr. Lee just mentioned. So I just wanted to tell everyone, Toronto Film School is a brand where we've been ranked amongst the #1 school across Canada. In fact, especially for our video game programs, we've been ranked amongst the top 50 undergraduate schools by the World QS ranking. So it is super, super prestigious. The best part about Toronto Film School program, like the pathway program, like a dual degree program, is once a student finishes diploma in any of these fields at Toronto Film School, and they finish a 2 years BCA, Bachelor of Creative Arts at Yorkville University, they can finish the entire thing at just about 65,000 Canadian dollars at the max. So it costs between $60,000 to $65,000. And the students are getting bursary for up to 29,000 to 30,000 Canadian dollars. That's really a huge amount in bursary. And I don't think so there's any other school across Canada who's paying that much amount in bursary, especially for doing such a prestigious diploma. And the students are getting dual credentials. They're getting a diploma from Toronto Film School, and they're getting a degree of Yorkville University with a postgraduate work permit for up to 3 years. Now, coming back to this question, Ritu, that you just asked me about the finishing some part of the program in India and probably finishing the rest part of the program in Canada. So yes, we do accept credit transfers. And what we need is, let's assume that if I'm a student, I've done grade 12 and I've started BB or a BCom program, completed first year, second year in India, then what I can do is, when I'm applying to Yorkville University, what we would require is the syllabus and the transcripts of their first year and second year education, What we do is match what they have studied already in the first year and the second year to what we teach in our BBA program. And if there's a program match, and if they have passes like C grade or above, then we will waive those subjects. The benefit of that is the total duration of the program comes down, and so will be the fee structure for the student. And student has to complete at least 50% of the program on campus so that they are eligible for postgraduate work permit for up to 3 years. So that's how the credit transfers thing works. And we actually accept credit transfers globally. It's not just India. Even if the student is in Canada and has done a diploma in any other college and they want to top it up to a degree program, because there are benefits of doing degree programs, they can also do that, like transfer from another college to our university.
Great. Good to hear, all that flexibility and the modular programming you're able to offer to students. Fantastic to hear those insights. We are running short on time, but I'm going to come back to Mr. Basiri for a final thought on do's and don'ts for aspiring students. What is the step-by-step application process for a student? Any tips, any do's and don'ts that you want to leave them with?
I think that there's the few things, and I'm gonna only speak out of my own experience. Make sure where you study, you do the research. Make sure the program that you want to study, you're passionate about that program. And locations, programs are really important for your future success. I have seen a lot of amazing people that they did study the right program, right location, and their job opportunity and the career has accelerated much faster. So take those into the consideration, and definitely schools like Yorkville, they have your back and they support you through the whole journey and they make sure you're well taken care of, are the schools that we generally suggest and stand by. So I think like those are the two important things that you make a huge investment, $60,000, $50,000. Education is one of the most expensive investments that we make. So you want to have a very great return on your investment 10 years from now. So choose the location, the program, and the schools wisely.
Dr. Lee?
I just wanted to say I agree with you wholeheartedly, Metzi, that solid research is important. And I think also just being conscious of what your goals are and what your interests are. If you're, for instance, I think, if you're interested and the purpose of studying in Canada is to start a good, solid career in Canada, and a meaningful career and starting a meaningful life in Canada, then I think, a school like Yorkville University is your absolute best choice. If you're interested in being supported in not just being successful in completing your program, but also getting supported and being successful in getting your career launched, then Yorkville University is absolutely the best choice for you.
All right. Well, we are completely out of time, but before I let all of you go, I'm going to ask you one quick question. If you had to leave our aspiring students here with a message on what makes Canada a great place to study, and Yorkville University in particular, what would that one reason be? Meti, if we can start with you.
I think Canada is the greatest nation in the world, and I stand by it. And I think this is a big investment, and you want to have a huge return on your investment. And I can guarantee that with choosing the right school, right program, right location, you're going to have that investment that you're looking for.
Dr. Lee, what about you?
I would say that Canada is safe, caring, and supportive country. And I think that Yorkville is really delivers the same experience, that we're safe, supportive, and caring, and that we prepare you for your ultimate goal, which is starting a meaningful life and a meaningful career in Canada. Krupali, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this.
Yeah, same thoughts, because it's just not about studying and getting your degree, but it is also about exploring yourself to new culture, new world, new business techniques, because we have grown up in a country and there we know what business techniques are, but coming into different country, learning how their economic works and how life is, and that is the most attractive thing for me, that learning new things, getting experience, knowing about other people's experience.
All right, Deepak?
I think we've spoken enough, and everybody loves Canada for what Canada has to offer. Just want to summarize why Yorkville University. So the reason why I would say Yorkville University is Yorkville University is known to put its students first. They're flexible. Anytime, if the student requires help, we have student assistants available, writing labs. I mean, there's so many things that Yorkville University has to offer, and so many advantages of coming to Yorkville University. Not only are we in the prime location, we have amazing scholarships for all the students. And then, it is rightly said that, this education is so accessible with Yorkville University.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining us here today for that very, very insightful and engaging session, and really throwing light on studying in Canada and earning a degree without delay. Appreciate all of you joining us here today. Thanks very much. That's a wrap on this edition of Education Connect. We'll be back with lots more next time. Till then, thanks for joining us. Goodbye.
Yorkville University presents Education Connect in association with CNBC-TV18 and News18.com.